Ryan Garcia is crazy like a fox. Let's look at how he's completely manipulating social media to build hype for his upcoming fight on April the 20th versus Devin Haney. I've already made several posts saying why I'm not really thrilled with this fight, Garcia versus Haney, from a technical boxing standpoint. But I gotta give Ryan total credit for building the hype more than a month away. So let's look at the number of different ways that Ryan manipulates social media. And he does this brilliantly. So, first way is he's actually showing us real, quote unquote, real training footage in the gym. There's short clips, but he's made sure he varies it up. So, for example, like a few seconds of him smacking the heavy bag, a few seconds of him shadow boxing, a few seconds of him doing mitts. Those of us who know social media is not real understand that that doesn't mean that just because Ryan did something for a few seconds that he's putting in an hour and a half worth of hard work. But for people who believe social media is completely real, I guess they probably find that reassuring that Ryan is in fact training for the Devin Haney fight, and so they figure, hey, he's actually training, I should probably tune in because it's going to be a real fight. Alright, so, and I think Ryan knows he needs to show a little bit of training every single day for that reassurance, so we don't think he's only doing the rest of his social media campaign. So the second type of post that Ryan's been making is what I'll call a sort of confessional. And he's sort of figured out how to kill two birds with one stone with this one, right? Because he's sometimes sharing his sort of heartfelt innermost thoughts and feelings while he's doing his run, or just after he ran, so you can tell he's still sweating, sitting on his couch, sharing his deepest thoughts with us. And I guess that sort of appeals to Gen Z. I'm not sure. It's kind of I don't want to make a gender biased statement, but that type of thing typically appeals more to females. So maybe Ryan's trying to appeal to his female audience. Maybe Gen Z, Gen Alpha males like that stuff too. I don't know. Can't really relate. So, but that is definitely one of the posts, or one of the types of posts that's gotten him really popular amongst his generation. You know, right from the get-go, since when he was a teenager making videos for TikTok. Third type of post that Ryan makes is one where he gets to be what I call the superhero. And there's sort of two subcategories of his superhero videos. First one is just him showing off like how incredible he is. And of course, Ryan's known for his hand speed, so he does that little shoe shine thing where he just throws his hands super fast, sometimes to that beat track where it every few bars of music, the hand speed doubles from, I guess, from quarter notes to eighth notes to 16ths to 30 seconds or 64ths or whatever. Now the interesting thing with that is, of course, Ryan will say in the comments, no, of course I don't fight like that. It's just really just a show off video with the shoe shine punches. But the thing is, since so many young boxers aspire to be just like Ryan Garcia, that shoe shine clip has generated tons and tons of copycat type videos. So it's a brilliant way for Ryan to not just 10x himself. It's probably gone like 100,000x times, right? That it's probably at least 100,000 other wannabe boxers that have filmed themselves in the gym trying to do that shoe shine thing and then post it to their social media. So whether or not they hashtag Ryan Garcia or you know, everybody knows that they got that from Ryan Garcia. So it kind of keeps his brand out there without him having to do any more work, right? Okay, so the second type of superhero video that Ryan makes is one where there's a patsy, and that would be his body shot challenge videos. So if you think about it, what's the actual challenge? Like, do they say up front, oh, I think I can take 10 of Ryan's body shots? Like, there's never a number specified, right? So I don't quite understand what this is. You know, someone's going to stand there with the body shield and take an infinite number of punches from Ryan. And then the second part is, of course, it's never reciprocal. So it's not like I can take more of your body shots than you can take of mine. Like, Ryan never puts on the body shield and the other person doesn't get to load up on Ryan. So it's kind of one of those where I guess we fell for it. I don't know. But the key point here is that there's a patsy. Like, in the end, that person's going to kind of collapse to the floor, and we, the audience, get to laugh at the person who, you know, just gets devastated with Ryan's punches. And, you know, I think Ryan and his brother Sean figured out a long time ago that a video will get way more views if there's a patsy than if it's just somebody doing something incredible. So at the very beginning, Sean was a patsy. I think that was the first one that Ryan did. He got Sean to put on the body shield and then take his body punches. I did notice that they did another sort of copycat video of Ryan throwing punches into a metal bowl. Now, the originator of that video were two Asian guys, where one guy's holding a metal bowl, and the other man is throwing super fast punches into the bowl. You can't really see his hands, but you can hear this sound. We'll assume it's the sound of his punches. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just overdubbed. I don't know. But you get to hear these little bingy noises, so you figure the other guy's throwing his hands that fast. Well, Ryan and Sean did a remake of that same type of video in the gym, and Ryan had it set up so on the last punch he accidentally, on purpose, misses the bowl or whatever, and hits his brother, and his brother falls out, you know. And so I guess again Sean gets to be the patsy in that version of their bowl punching video. So point here is just that the Garcia brothers figured out very early on that in their sort of social media adventures, that if somebody gets to be the patsy and we get to laugh at somebody else's expense, that type of video will get way more views than just if you go out there and do something absolutely incredible. I guess that's just human nature, right? Okay, so the fourth kind of video that Ryan makes and does really well is a trolling type video or post where he just trolls somebody. And so most recent examples are he started trolling with Jake Paul, saying stuff like, you know, you can beat him up, this and that. Well, okay, let's be real. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight has recently gotten a lot of coverage, so this was an opportune moment for Ryan to kind of jump in there and kind of try to ride the wave a little bit by, you know, talking mess to Jake Paul. But I don't think, and then, you know, Jake Paul's going to respond, and then, you know, all the Garcia fans can chime in and all the Jake Paul fans can chime in. But let's be real, there's not really a rivalry here. That's a collaboration. I mean, there's a 60-pound weight difference between the two of them. They're collaborators, they're not rivals. They don't want to really even think about trying to beat each other up. So there's that. And then the other move that Ryan did was with Andrew Tate, and of course that one got a lot of airplay because he said something outrageous in his little interview with Andrew Tate. Again, not sure if he ran that by Andrew up front, but it's more of a collaboration I won't call it a rivalry, but it's really a collaboration, right? Because Andrew Tate knows full well that Ryan has a large reach, and his audience is probably a little bit different than Andrew Tate's, and vice versa. So this way, if Ryan goes on his little podcast or whatever that was and says something crazy, then they'll both get lots of retweets on that little clip. So finally, the number one and the most brilliant sort of social media post that Ryan's been doing recently was how he started out this whole recent social media campaign, which was just to say some stuff or post stuff that's absolutely outrageous. So much so that he allowed the rest of us, his viewing audience, to be the rescuer, and he played the apparent damsel in distress by sort of feigning this craziness. And so, of course, what does everybody do right away? They retweet it and say, "Oh my goodness, I'm so concerned for Ryan Garcia's mental health." Now, Ryan did this so well that he got other boxing rivals to repost that, saying, "I'm concerned about Ryan Garcia's mental health." And he got outside boxing media or boxers, he got mainstream sports media to make that a story. Oh, I'm really concerned for Ryan Garcia's mental health. I mean, Stephen A. Smith even posted that, and I will admit I have a low toleration for Stephen A. Smith, so I did not listen to that story, but the headline was there. So Ryan played everybody like a violin on that one, because he knows full well if he can sort of start off with getting everybody to retweet his outrageous posts, or to just create a separate commentary on the fact that we're concerned for his mental health, then that feeds the algorithm, right? He probably 100,000 x'd himself by starting out with that feigned craziness type post. So now that the algorithm has not just his post being retweeted, but other people making additional content about him, it doesn't really matter whether it's about the fight or about his mental health. All the platforms are tracking Ryan Garcia's name being out there, and so they're gonna, the algorithms or whatever, the platforms will continue to push the Ryan Garcia content. So it's pretty brilliant for him to kind of start his whole social media campaign with that, to get everybody else to do his job for him, which is to retweet or just create their own content about him. And now whatever he creates is going to get kicked out there to a much larger audience. And all of this is more than a month out from this 420 fight versus Devin Haney. And Ryan is completely aware that Devin doesn't have much capability of promoting the fight. So I think Ryan figures, hey, I've got to do this on my own, and he's masterful with the social media. He's willing to do it. This will help his pay-per-view percentage. Well, not the percentage, but the resulting revenue, whatever his percentage is I assume settled. But he just wants to generate those big numbers, and he's figured out sort of a multi-pronged approach to building his reach in time for 420. So tell me what you guys think about Ryan's social media. Do you follow him? Do you watch his stuff? Do you look at his posts? What do you think? How do you think this fight is going to go down on 420? Are you going to pay for it? That's the big question. All right, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for listening.